Thank you so much. If we think about it logically, Bennington College shouldn't exist. Perhaps early on, the idea made sense. There was an interest in progressive education. Bennington, Vermont was somewhat remote, but it wasn't inconceivable that students would want to come and study with an excellent faculty and innovative curriculum. The farm fields could be transformed into a stately quadrangle framed with handsome buildings. But on October 29, 1929, the stock market crashed, sending the country into a deep economic depression. It wouldn't have been surprising if the plans were canceled, or at least postponed. But instead, something very interesting happened. To keep the plans viable, the founders of Bennington had to spend less money. A lot less money. But where would the savings come from? Thankfully, the educational plan, the intellectual heart of Bennington College, was never economized, never compromised. Instead, they turned to the buildings. And the moment of genius came when someone said, "You know, there is that barn." And the perfect, wonderful, very Bennington thing is, from that moment on, it was a given. Of course we'll use the barn. Makes perfect sense. There really weren't any objections. It wasn't viewed as a radical idea, at least not by Bennington. For the rest of the world, however, this concept took some getting used to. The New York Times ran an article titled, "Bennington Plans College in Barn." And in case we missed the barn aspect of this, the author added a subtitle, "A Barn That Will House a College." Imagine if they knew the chicken coop was going to be the future home of the music faculty. My favorite document related to the renovation of the barn is one containing the exterior painting instructions. Buy the pigment by the barrel in powdered form for 10 cents a pound from Shepherd's Store in North Bennington. Mix it with ordinary oil paint. The color will be Phoenician red. Phoenicians, the ancient seafarers, famous for their travels in water deemed unknowable and unreachable by others. How perfect. So this humble barn became our port of safety in the economic storm, our ship carrying us onward, our anchor, and we painted it Phoenician red for all the world to see. The phrase, "a leap of faith," can carry a connotation of blind acceptance or naivete on the part of the leaper, neither of which is true in the case of Bennington. At a conference in 1930, the college's first president, Robert DeVore Haley, encouraged the participants to be deliberately honest about what Bennington College should do next. We should appreciate courageous criticism rather than praise. Nothing should limit the discussion. In 1932, the barn doors opened, and the first 87 students began their Bennington journey. Logically, Bennington College shouldn't exist. But here we are. Bennington stood at the precipice of conventional wisdom and leapt. And the wisdom of Bennington is the knowledge that there is a space created in between taking off from the ground and touching back down. And in that space, everything is possible.